New York is amazing and I could totally live there. Hey guys, it's Hannah and today I am doing a book haul that features books and bookish stuff I got when I was in New York, but also has some other books because I bought some books once I got back. So first, let's go through the bookish stuff I got. Now, we only had time to go to 3 bookstores, which, I mean, it's more than I was expecting to go to, so I'm totally fine with that. And it's also kind of amusing that I say only 3 because that's technically like a lot. But I could have made like a whole trip of just going to bookstores, so like it is only 3. The first place we went is actually where I got this mug, and that is, don't want to spill my tea, the Strand. So this mug is one of, oh hello Waylon, the best things that I own. Wait, get out of that. You're only gonna make a mess. No, stop. Stop. And I actually ended up not buying any books from the Strand because I didn't see anything that I just like absolutely wanted or needed, but I just bought a whole bunch of like Strand stuff. So that mug's one of them. And I also bought this pouch that is just, it's just covered in books and it's beautiful, and I have like a whole bunch of Sharpies and I'm kind of outgrowing the pouch that they're in, and this one's actually basically the same size, maybe even smaller, but I can really just divide them into 2 pouches. It's fine. I'll use it. And then I got 2 pins because it's me. Waylon. The cats are fighting, hang on. Anyway, I got 2 pins. The first one is this one that just says Strand Books, and it's in this really pretty green, which I love this green. It's like one of my favorite kinds of colors. Anyway, I love it. And then I also got this one that just says Stay Curious, and it has a cat, and it's a black cat, so it's Waylon. And Waylon's definitely curious. And then I got this magnet, which I was originally gonna give to someone, but I kind of changed my mind because I think I'm gonna keep it. So, wasn't going to keep this one, but I decided to. And this isn't actually book related, but I just have to show it to you because it was amazing, and that is my Come From Away playbill. I have it signed by the entire cast and the drummer. It was amazing. It was everything I hoped it would be and more. If you are in New York and you haven't seen Come From Away, go see Come From Away. It is so freaking fantastic. I also bought a pen because, again, it's me and it's also not focusing. This is sad. There we go. I bought a pin. Come From Away is about 9/11, but it's a bit different than the 9/11 stories you always hear. There were 38 planes that were headed to the American airspace and they all had to be diverted. So they're all diverted to a little island in Canada called Newfoundland. And so it's about the people on the planes having to deal with being diverted and like worrying about their families and that sort of thing. And just the people on the island and in Gander and the towns surrounding them, just like completely welcoming these people into their homes and giving them food and clothing and all that sort of thing. There's only 12 cast members and each cast member plays 2 characters, and every character in the musical is based off of one or like a few real life people. So all those stories you see in the musical are like based off of stories that are true and that like actually happened during those days that they were in Newfoundland. And it's just amazing. One of the characters is Beverly Bass, who was the first female pilot for American Airlines, and she had the first all-female crew. And just seeing her story and just seeing all of the stories was amazing. It's literally 12 cast members and tables and chairs, that's their set. So it's all about the storytelling and they do it so amazing. And just the execution is so beautiful, but it's also beautiful in the way that they move on the stage. Like the soundtrack itself is phenomenal. But then the way that they integrated, I guess you'd call it choreography, because you know there's no like huge dance numbers, but there is choreography going on with like the way they move the chairs and the way they do stuff, and it's so good. It's so good, you guys. If you haven't seen it and you need something to go see in New York, go see Come From Away. It is fantastic. It is one of my favorite musicals. This and Newsies, like, I cannot pick between them. I honestly just can't. But it's up there. It's one of them. Okay, enough of me gushing. Now onto the actual books I got in New York. So besides the Strand, we went to 2 other bookstores. One of them I cannot remember the name of, but if you go to Chelsea Market, there is a bookstore somewhere in there, and it's super cute, and I almost bought a copy of Persuasion, but I already own Persuasion and it was like $17, so I kept myself from buying it, though I will probably buy it eventually, but like when I find it cheaper. Doing good, guys, I say as I'm looking at a stack of books surrounding me. The other place we went is called West Cider Books, and you can, if this will focus, there you go. You can screenshot that so you can know where to go. So there are 2 locations. One is a smaller store, and it was basically across from where I was staying, and so I went to it a couple of times. But I didn't end up buying anything from that location. But then there's another one up on 79th Street that is bigger, and it's got another book ladder I love book ladders. I love them so much, and I just have a knack for finding stores with book ladders. I mean, also at the Strand, there were ladders. I'm not complaining about this knack. I love it. But anyway, so I bought some books at that location. That location has more books. The other location has more records than books. Just throwing that out there. So the first book I found was Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This book, all I know about it is that it is the ultimate like supervillain hero combat story. Like, it's one of those stories where you just fall in love but also kind of hate the characters, from what I understand. It sounds amazing. Like, I hear nothing but good things about it, and I've been wanting to try a V.E. Schwab book for a while now. I just haven't picked any of them up. So this seemed like a pretty good place to start. Cats, stop fighting. Stop it. Look at this. Look at this. They don't like each other. Made my flash pop up. Hang on. Gotta fix this now. Stop it. Oh, that's crooked. We'll say that's good. Anyway, excited to get to this. Next, I found This Summer After the Funeral by Jane Gardam. That's an M. Gardam. I've never heard about this before, but it just sounds interesting to me. It's about a girl whose father passes away and just like her experience after that. And it sounded intriguing, and it was like $2, and y'all need to stop fighting. You're interrupting my video. Stop it. Stop it. Hang on, I'll send you two. Okay, I locked Waylon in the bathroom. Anyway, excited to get to this one as well. And the last book I got in New York was Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. The location, it has the book ladders, and it also has like a little loft area. And I was in the loft area, and I was like looking at the really top of the bookshelves, and I saw this book. And I've been meaning to read this book since it came out. So I went down the stairs, and then I climbed up the book ladder to get this book, and honestly, having to climb up a book ladder to pick up a book is such a nice feeling. Like, I'll never forget that that's how I got this. That's so random. I cannot tell you the specifics of what this is about, but it's a historical fiction, and I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I am super excited to read it. I'm hoping to read more historical fiction this summer. We'll see, but I'm really hoping to. Super excited about this. So those are the books I got in New York. Then, when I got back, I was hanging out with a friend, and we went to Half Price Books, as you do, and I bought 3 books. In my defense, 2 of them were on the bargain cart, so throwing that out there. The first one, I was so giddy when I saw it. Keep in mind, I already own 2 copies of this book. I think it's only 2 though. I don't think I have more than 2. I think it's just 2. And that is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. But look at this, painted edges. Look at this cover. Look at this layout. Like, I want to read this again just to like read it with these pictures. Like, look at this. It's fantastic. And it was on the bargain rack, so you know. Next, I have Secret, I'm not quite sure how that is pronounced, by Lindsay Smith. My friend read this and said it was fantastic. Actually, 2 of my friends read this and both said it was fantastic. This was also on the bargain shelf. And all I know is that it's about communist Russia, I believe, and I think spies are involved, but I'm not positive. But I trust those friends' recommendations, so when they are both saying that it is fantastic and I need to read it, and it's bargain, so I buy it before I read it, and then it's gonna sit on my shelf for years and years until I maybe, hopefully, eventually get to it. I know how this works. The next book I got is The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. My accounting professor from last semester actually recommended this to me because before his class, I'd sit on one of the benches that was pretty near to his office, and he'd like, you know, come out and stuff, and so he'd see that I was reading, he'd ask what I was reading, I'd tell him what I was reading, and just kind of became a thing, you know? So one day, to kind of like hopefully get him on a tangent so he didn't have to like, you know, do too much schoolwork in the class, someone asked him, well, what are you reading right now? And he said The Golden Compass, and he was like, Hannah, have you read that? And everybody turned to look at me, and I was like, no, I haven't read that. He goes, well, you should. It's a really good book, and I think you'd probably like it. So I picked it up. So my plan is to read it this summer because I have him again next semester for like the second part of the accounting class, and I'm gonna tell him my thoughts. That is my plan. Hopefully I can actually do it. Nearing the finish line. So these last 2 books, I think this is like the day after I went to Half Price Books. So listen, I'm gonna try and stop from buying books in bulk for a bit because I've done a lot of traveling, and when I travel I buy books, and then I just like was still in that like book buying buzz, I guess, because I bought so many books when I got home. I'm gonna try and take a break. Okay, so my memory card ran out of storage, that's why the thing might have changed, so I'm gonna try and do this last bit fast. I don't remember where it cut off, but the next book I have is Vinegar Girl by Anne Taylor, which is a retelling of William Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew, which, fun fact, I actually haven't read that play, but it is on my list of his plays to read, so hopefully I'll get to it soon. And I've just heard nothing but good things about this book, and it was in the bargain section of Barnes & Noble. So it's those bargain sections. that's what gets me. I think my focusing is up. We're just gonna deal with it. I got one more book. The last book I have, I am so excited for. I'm in a big fantasy mood, which you will see when I post my wrap up. One of the books that has been catching my eye is Furyborn by Claire Legrand. Legrand? This book is about two queens set 100 years apart, don't quote me on that, and you can either be the Sun Queen or the Blood Queen, and there's like elements that you can control, and depending on which elements you control or like how many you can control depends on if you fit this like prophecy. And so these two queens have to go through tests to figure out if they're the Sun Queen, which is the good one, or the Blood Queen, which is the bad one. And I'm sure you have seen this all over BookTube, as I have, and that's what's got me excited about it, because every time I hear it explained, my mind's just going 3 dark crowns, 3 dark crowns, 3 dark crowns. And I love me 3 dark crowns. That's Waylon. He's complaining about being in the bathroom. So I wanted to pick this up, and my mom and I went to we were running errands that day, okay? I convinced her to go to Barnes & Noble, and then we had to go to Costco. That's the whole reason we went out. So we were in Costco and they had it, and I put it in the cart, and I never took it out of the cart. It just stayed in the cart. And so then I had to buy it. I'm super excited for this. Hopefully I'll get to it soon, because I'm just in the fantasy mood, and 3 dark crowns, 3 dark crowns, 3 dark crowns. I don't really know what it is. I guess it's just the queens and having powers and trying to figure out which one you are. I don't know exactly what it is about it that just screams 3 dark crowns for me, but it does, and that's what makes me feel excited about it, because I love 3 dark crowns. I got my roommate to read 3 dark crowns, and she's loving it. She's on the second one. She's on 1 Dark Throne, and oh, it's just really fun to gush about it. So that is it for this video. Comment down below and let me know if you have been to New York and what your favorite bookstores there are. I loved the Strand, but also if you've never been to Westsider Books, go to Westsider Books. Go to the one on 79th Street, because A+, plus ladders. Also comment down below, let me know if someone who you wouldn't really expect to recommend a book to you, and then you decide to read it because they did. Because you know, you don't really expect an accounting professor to recommend a book to you and then that make you want to read it, but it did. So we're gonna read Golden Compass and we're gonna see what I think about it. Let me know if something like that has ever happened in your life. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all again in another one soon.